into the ring, the bell's about to chime. Turnbuckle Talk, we're here to shine. Flagship on the airwaves, leading the pack. Breaking news reviews, we've got your back. From the squared circle to the backstage news, we bring stories that you can't refuse. Turnbuckle Talk, the voice of the fight. Every slam, every suplex, every highlight. Tune in weekly, don't miss a beat. For the latest in wrestling, we bring the heat. From AEW to WWE, we cover it all from A to Z. Interviews, insights, and match reviews. If it's wrestling news, we've got the clues. From the squared circle to the backstage news, we bring stories that you can't refuse. Turnbuckle Talk, the voice of the fight. Every slam, every suplex, every highlight. Tune in weekly, don't miss a beat. For the latest in wrestling, we bring the heat.
The heat is on a Tuesday night. What's good, everybody? My name is Carl Carafel. I am joined alongside Chris Best, OM Dynamic, and RBV, a very special guest to have here with us tonight for this episode of Turnbuckle Talk. 1DM can change your destiny. This is our episode number 457 on January 13th, 2026. Guys, thank you so much for being here with me tonight for this episode of Turnbuckle Talk. Lots of things to cover here tonight. Some quick stories, and then something new that hopefully we can continue to get. But we have got a fan question that came to us that everyone's had a little bit of time to kind of go over. I am simply going to ask the question because the person that asked it has gotten all of my information. And this is specifically for him. So, Mark, this one will be for you later on in the show. First, I want to go around the room, make sure everybody is good. OM Dynamic, how are you doing?
I'm doing very well tonight. Always good to be here at Turnbuckle Talk to talk wrestling. Always great to see you, Carl. RBV, welcome as always. Great to have you back on the show. Mr. Best. I'm sure you're probably tired of my ugly mug since we do 5 shows a week together.
RBV, how are you, my friend?
I am doing great. Hey, I want to thank you there for saying special guest. But hey, anytime I can sit down with you, Carl, OMD, and Mr. The Real Best over there, as a special guest, hey, I'm just here doing what we do, kicking it with my favorite Canadian crew to talk a little pro wrestling. Hey, but since you guys are a little north of the border, I almost forgot here. I got to switch caps, man. I got to represent and rock the red, white, and blue, and I'm in the house with my Canadian clique there, gentlemen. But yeah, I love the run. I think we're going to have a lot of fun talking about these headlines here this evening.
I think so as well. Mr. Best, how are you tonight?
I'm doing pretty good. Right now, I kind of feel like Dr. Evil because I have a 5th host with us in my cat. She's been on me ever since I got home. So I feel like Dr. Evil sitting here petting my cat.
And for myself, you all will notice that I will be putting on and taking off my glasses. I have been doing nothing for the last 4.5 hours, but sitting in front of the computer, doing up these graphics and making everything good for our show tonight. So my eyes hurt. I'm just going to put that out there.
It's like you're getting old or something.
Yes, right. Right. Age
Carl,
is just a number.
Just take your blessings that you don't have to wear your glasses 24/7 like I do.
Yeah, true. I'm very thankful for that for now.
Yeah.
There is another guy who is pretty thankful right now. I'm thankful for this as well. And you know what? I bet you Kit Wilson is pretty happy as well. If you don't know who Kit Wilson is, well, he's part of a tag team called Pretty Deadly. He has a tag team partner who's been out for a little bit of time right now, and that tag team partner is Elton Prince of Pretty Deadly. We're going to throw this graphic up here for you, but he underwent surgery recently. He went through a neck fusion surgery, and we can report that it was successful. I am super happy about that. Back in May, he landed badly in the ring, caused some issues. The top of his head hit the mat. And he says that he felt like burning hot electricity exploded through his neck and arms, lost control of his hands as all of his fingers curled in, and they were stuck like that for a moment. For those of us that have been in the ring, that's a pretty terrifying situation. I know that I have bumped my head quite a few times. I have dropped on my head quite a few times, and I've hit the top of my head quite a few times as well. John, thank you for coming in with your comment. Yeah, he's old. It's coming. I get it. I'm old. John was actually wondering what was happening to Elton Prince. So, guys, go ahead and take it away. We'll start at the bottom, and then we'll make our way up. Your thoughts and comments on Elton Prince and his fusion.
Well, I think first and foremost, great news that he's doing well. Tremendous to see the thumbs up there. Also in the story, he's talking about he's thankful for this part of the journey, but he's looking forward to getting back into professional wrestling. With that, hey, I'd say I always encourage someone to follow their dream, that passion, but proceed cautiously. Be smart about your decisions there. And obviously, I know he's probably going to be in touch with a lot of individuals that can lend a lot more advice that have been truly in that spot. Carl, you talked about some scary moments that you had, but Al Snow regularly over on Vince Russo's The Brand talking about working safe with his neck issues. William Regal just went public, social, sharing his two issues, the X-rays with his neck. Maybe somebody like a Kurt Angle, who was a great mentor to these younger talents, can be there to lend some advice about how to proceed going forward. And pro wrestling is not just about the bumps in the ring. Maybe there's another spot that he can utilize, or even take all the lessons that you've learned in professional wrestling and use those elsewhere in entertainment. Because I really think at the end of the day, that's what he wants to do, is continue to entertain and be able to touch the masses.
Yeah, I like how you mentioned there are wrestlers that can reach out to Elton Prince and help him out, and we're one of the big names right now that's out with a neck injury, who's had the same kind of operation, is Kevin Owens. There's something to that where they can maybe work together in trying to get each other back into the ring as well. And OMD and I, alongside Chris Parrish over on the SmackDown Security Detail, we spent months wondering what happened to Elton Prince when we were talking about the SmackDown Tag Team division, because Pretty Deadly, they were deep involved in what was going on there and then just suddenly vanished out of nowhere. So to know that this is what happened to Elton Prince is it's good. It's good to know that he's okay, and I want him to come back. I want Pretty Deadly to reform. I want Pretty Deadly to win the tag team titles. I've been a big fan of them for quite some time.
And I'm with you, and I do want to give a big yes, boy, out to Elton Prince. This is always scary, too, especially at such a young age. I believe he's, 28, right? So, and I mean, you look at some of the other legends who have gone through this surgery or have had to deal with spinal stenosis as well. So now you've got to really, really watch. Because you're looking now at a Daniel Bryan, you are looking at a Sting, at a Kevin Owens. Kurt Angle is another great example from his broken neck. And now you really have to watch all of those things as well, because there's so many different things that can lead to addiction, and you've got to watch yourself there. I believe he is still a fairly young husband, and I believe he's just had a child as well. Did he not?
Correct.
So now you've got that young family that you're taking care of too. So good on Elton. Use your resources. Make sure you stay healthy. Get yourself back in the ring. I'd like to see, if he is unable to return to the ring because of this, take on that producer role like a Bobby Roode did and learn.
And for all of those that are wanting to even just lend a little bit of support, right now with social media, probably the biggest support that you can give to him to put a smile on his face is just to go there, give him well wishes, and use the hashtag Elton Strong. And I'm sure that that is a hashtag he's going to continue to use for a little bit of time and be able to reflect back on that. So that's going to be probably your best way that you can support Elton Prince through this, and just kind of give a little bit of a smile on his face. I do want to put this out there. He did say as well, but my focus right now is just getting healthy and reclaiming the basics, like being able to be the best dad I can be for my daughter.
Awesome.
As I'm going to pull the curtain back a little bit here, as Kelly Kincaid _ WWE is long overdue a good night's sleep. I can't thank her enough for the support and help during all of this. And while I'm recovering, I'm excited to watch my brother, Kit Wilson, crush everything he does and get a well-deserved spotlight shone on him. So even through all of this that's happening, probably the hardest obstacle that he has had to overcome in his entire life, he still has a beautiful positivity to him throughout all of this. And I think that that's something that maybe we all can learn a little bit from. John saying that he can't wait for Kevin Owens to come back. I agree.
Yeah.
I think everybody's waiting for that, but on the story there, hey, keep, no pun intended, joke with it. Keep your head up, and push forward. I think that's a lesson there for everybody. Hey, life's going to throw some stuff at you, but you got to do the best with it there.
You definitely do. You have to. It's the only way to be. You put negativity into your life, and that's all that you're going to get in your life. So you got to make sure that you keep your head up and have that little bit of positivity. John has, go ahead.
Speaking from personal experience, I mean, all of these is just ringing true in my brain right now. So
John has a question about recent events that happened, and we'll go through that quickly. He says, I got to ask, what was Braun Breaker thinking, and was that anger legitimate? I can't speak to it because I was not able to watch Monday Night Raw. I was not able to watch SmackDown, but I was able to see that he has been, indefinitely suspended? Is that correct?
Yeah. Yes. He was indefinitely suspended because last night on Raw, he came out during the, who was it? Bronson Reed and Austin Theory tag team match against Dragon Lee and Penta, and just obliterated both Penta and Dragon Lee. Adam Pearce came out and told him, like, I've had enough of this because Braun's been on a tear lately with everyone.
Right.
And so he chases Braun goes to the back, and Pearce chases him because he wasn't done talking to him. And then Pearce says, you're suspended indefinitely for putting your hands on officials and all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But then Paul Heyman said he may be suspended indefinitely, but remember, Adam Pearce, you were the one that put your hands on him. Because when he came out, he grabbed Braun and like forcefully turned him around to talk to him.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, he forcefully spun Braun around, and then Braun grabbed him by the collar, shoved him into the corner.
Yeah.
And was screaming at him with Logan Paul and Bronson Reed trying to restrain him.
Okay.
So I think that the anger was legit, but I don't think that the anger should have been directed at Adam Pearce. It should have been directed more at himself, because it was that one little mistake that cost him the title a week before to CM Punk.
Now, what we're forgetting here, gentlemen, this is not a dance. You don't have dance partners out there. We are replicating, bringing to life big fight feelings. So you got to reach deep down to grab those emotions and project them outward. You go out there. I don't know about you guys, but how we throw down here in Cincinnati, man, when it starts going down in that barroom brawl, it's all lights out. You're black out. You are doing whatever. Somebody puts hands on you, they're getting it. And that's what happened there. And hey, who better as it's in his DNA, second generation. He's got, his uncle and all that. It's going to teach him that. That's Steiner 101 math right there, gentlemen. No matter how you add it up, you bring the fire every time out there, and that shines through Braun Breaker.
And it's not just his uncle. His dad had that fire too.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Very cool. Very cool. Monday Night Raw, as we know, is on Netflix. But there's another program that is going to be on Netflix. And some of you were excited about this. I know, RBV, you kind of just learned about this and have some excitement over this. Why don't you give us a little bit of info on Skyscraper?
I would say I don't really know a whole lot about it. And I think what is really cool, though, is through Netflix and getting, I know we get a lot of advertisements, but I guess it's working because this one, it set in on me, grabbed me, my subconscious, and I was just, wow. I mean, what is going on here? So there is a professional climber who has set all sorts of world records in that for scaling buildings, and he's going to go up. This thing's like 101 stories tall, and he's going to scale this thing unassisted without ropes, nets, anything like that. And what's going to make this attempt so unique, it is the first time they've filmed these things before, but this is like the first time they've done it in this live setting, which is good. To me, especially in the carny world of professional wrestling, these are the kind of gimmicks that, are going to grab our attention. Hey, and lo and behold, it's grabbed the attention of the WWE and one Seth Rollins. He's going to be on the commentary crew for this one. Now, I am admittedly not the biggest Seth Rollins fan, but I have liked what I've seen from him when he steps away from the WWE universe. I love when he sits in on Rich Eisen. If you guys are familiar with him, sports analyst, broadcaster, podcaster here in the States, just recently signed a new deal with ESPN. Big time bucks for him there. Big time audience. They've even invited Seth on to be a special guest when Rich has, leave for vacation or miss for whatever reason like that. Seth, very prevalent out there with the Chicago Bears, who just had a major win in the NFL playoffs this weekend. Big time comeback. Seth right there cheering on his Bears. Hey, I'm interested to see what Seth can bring to this spectacle and the characters that are going to be involved. This gentleman climbing this and his gigantic opponent, that 101 story building. Can he topple that giant? I'm tuning in for that one. Interesting, though, it's on a Friday night. So Seth of the commentary team running against SmackDown.
I was just going to mention that it's happening Friday, January 23rd, and it's going to feature the renowned, apparently, climber, Alex Honnold, Honnold, and he's going to attempt to scale the Taipei 101 building in Taiwan. John Collar says scary, man. Yeah. 1,000% for me. That is not something that I would do. All power to Alex with this. Parrish jumped in. Good to see you. Thank you for coming. I don't even
know if I want to ride in an elevator up that bad boy, let alone climb the outside of it.
Right? I
sure as hell ain't walking up that thing on the stairway.
No. And for it to happen live. So, Best, what do you think about something like this being live and the ramifications that could come if something unfortunate were to happen?
Oh, geez. So I'm going to use a little bit of history, and I'm going to go back to the gentleman who decided he was going to tightrope walk between the former World Trade Centers. I've gone back and watched that footage time and time again, and it terrifies me every time I watch it. And it's what's that term that everybody uses when they see something that makes them cringe? It makes your butt pucker. And I'm probably going to watch this out of curiosity, but at the same time, I'm going to be sitting there cringing and just, but there is a lot of danger that goes into this. And I hope that this guy has gone through all of the proper training that maybe need to do. they need to do, because I do watch a lot of these high risk things too. Like Red Bull puts out a lot of these high risk events too. Like again, that guy that jumped from space to Earth.
Right.
I watch those just for the thrill of it, but at the same time, I'm praying that the guy survives and nothing goes wrong. And there's a lot of things that can go wrong when you're climbing a building at this height. I mean, they got to factor in the wind, especially because the wind can knock you way off course and down you go.
Bets, let me ask you real quick. Do you think there's some producers at Netflix, though, that maybe they're not saying it out loud, but they're thinking in their head, like, you know what, ratings, if this guy falls?
You know what, though? When I read this report as someone who's worked in film, I thought the same thing. So I guarantee you there's probably some producers there that are thinking that.
It's morbid, but it's, hey,
right. OM Dynamics. So we've got a team of people that is going to be kind of doing commentary and analysis for this, from sports broadcaster L. Duncan, who is set to host the special. The team is also including professional climber Emily Harrington, popular engineer and YouTuber Mike Robber, and climbing commentator Pete Woods. How do you feel that this inclusion of a professional wrestler into this setting is going to pan out?
I like it because, again, wrestling is not ballet. It is a live action stunt show. You are looking at, essentially actors who get one take at the stunt scene in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I was excited when Seth Rollins was announced to do NFL Game Day on Netflix on Christmas Day.
Right.
We know that Seth is a little bit of a high-risk athlete going to the top rope on more than one occasion. So I like this. And this is him maybe setting himself up for his future outside of the ring when it's all said and done. And it's something to occupy him while he's injured. I would love to see somebody like a Seth Rollins come out and have an interview show, something like the KO show while he's injured.
Okay.
So I'm intrigued to see where this goes. I'm not going to watch this, even though there is morbid curiosity. I know my fear of heights is going to kick in at about 200 feet.
What if this world-renowned climber, he's like it, we got like 101, what's the 101 building? So how tall is, well, let's say he's like 40% of that way up there, right there around, floor 62. And you just hear, ha ha! What do you think? He pops out of the window with the microphone, scares the guy to death, unexpected. You guys are video gamers. Can we get like bananas and barrels being dropped from the top of the building here? Can we liven this up a little bit more?
I don't think we're going to get Donkey Kong going on this one.
I'm glad you brought up video gaming, because there are times when we're doing the PlayStation Showcase and there's a moment maybe where I've got to climb a cliff and OMD is like, nope, I won't be doing that.
Yeah.
Not a fan of the vertical climbers.
Yeah. To give everybody an idea, so I just took a look at it. The Taipei 101 building is 508 meters or 1,667 feet tall, making it the tallest building in Taiwan and the 11th tallest in the world at the time of its completion back in 2004.
Wow.
That's a lot of feet or
Yes.
meters. That's a lot of meters. That's a lot of feet. That's a lot of nope coming from me.
Yeah.
For sure. Wow.
I mean,
That's-
if sometimes I have the nope of standing outside on my balcony, which is only 5 floors, it's a definite nope for Taipei 101.
Yeah.
And while I think it is a full agreement, that is a nope from all of us, something that is a yup from everybody is the Turnbuckle Studios merchandise line that we have. Here, just take a look.
The Turnbuckle Studios store is open for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Get the merch and represent the best from the shows you watch on a weekly basis. Multiple styles to choose from with over 10 products available. Don't get left out and pick up all your favorites today. Find us at carlcarafel.redbubble.com.
And I know that carlcarafel.redbubble.com, I mean, that's a lot to try to remember. So what's easier is just go to our website. It is turnbucklestudios.org. We have the shop link right there for you. And we've even got a QR code on the screen for you. So grab that phone, go ahead and scan that QR code. It's going to take you right to the website, then click on shop. We have got more news today on this episode of Turnbuckle.
But wait,
Talk.
there's more.
Yeah, there is. There is a lot more. And one that I did not see coming, especially considering what I would maybe say was a meteoric rise for this person, becoming a belt collector of all belt collectors and an extraordinaire when it comes to her craft. We're talking Mercedes Moné, who put out a vignette, I guess we could say. And this picture is from that vignette, and I thought that it was absolutely perfectly fitting. But she has decided that she is taking some time away from AEW. She kind of complained a little bit about her recent downfall. She was dethroned as the AEW TBS champion by Willow Nightingale on their Dynamite New Year's Smash. She did reflect on her 584-day reign, saying that she had that reign because she's undeniable. At 33 years old, she is deciding to take a step back from AEW. RBV, how do you feel about that?
Mercedes Moné announcing her leave of absence from All Elite Wrestling will not make a dent in that product, will not mean an ounce of significance. I'm sorry, Miss Moné is arguably, in my opinion, without question, the most hyped talent of the last decade. She's done nothing to move that needle. Throughout her career, she tries to move entirely too fast, thinks that knowing Eddie Guerrero's moveset will get her over, and completely lacks understanding of her character. If it was the boss, the CEO, whatever the case might be. The biggest work that she has pulled in this industry is convincing Tony Khan to give her the payday that he did. They have a stacked women's roster over there, a lot of talent that are going to be eager to step into a spotlight that she has been given here during her run. And I expect whoever that's going to be is going to make a much greater impact than Moné ever delivered or cashed in for the company.
Now, tell us how you really feel. Oh, I agree. I 1,000%. I mean, I'm going to go next, and I'm just going to say, man, everything you said, I agree with. OM Dynamic, give us your take.
In this situation, I'm going to give her some credit for at least announcing that it's a leave of absence and not just taking her ball and going home, which we saw twice when she was Sasha Banks. When she lost the WWE Women's Tag Team titles at WrestleMania with Bayley, she went and cried. This is hopefully just a way for her to reset. Is it going to be significant? Like, is it a significant time away, or is it just a couple of weeks? And
forever, let's hope.
we can hope. But there's one name that I think really would move the needle if they were to come back during this leave of absence, and that is one Dr. Britt Baker, DMD.
I like that idea. Mr. Best, give us your thoughts.
I'm with you guys too, because I'm just like, meh. Although her 584-day reign, that surprised me that it lasted that long. I thought it was shorter. I thought she had just won the title. In noting, so I don't get to watch AEW as often as I'd like to, but knowing that Willow Nightingale was the one that took the title off of her makes me very happy about that, because I have been a fan of her work.
A lot of money on Willow. Great talent.
Yeah. And not going to lie, there was a time when with Mercedes Moné, I was a fan of her, but I'm just done with her. I need her to either, as OMD would say about one of my favorite Japanese wrestlers, Asuka, I need her to go away, or I need her to just kind of repackage herself into something that's more palatable than being this snobby CEO person, which seems to come across to her not only in the ring, but even outside the ring. And I need that to stop.
I think there's really two good points. We can kind of blend them together, mix them, that OMD and you, Mr. Best, bring up here. With the announcement herself, you mentioned instead of just kind of quietly disappearing, I will say that's probably one of the smarter tactics that they employed with her character, because, Monet, the CEO, she thinks she's that over. That she has to formally tell us she's leaving the building because she sees herself as that important. So I will give them the hat tip in that sense. And also, as Mr. Best is saying, this run hasn't necessarily hit. The belt collector really didn't get over as they thought it would. We didn't know, you could have offered us $10,000 and we probably couldn't name 9 to 10 of those belts off the top of our head. So that kind of miss. So what Best is saying, maybe this is a good opportunity for a reset, because we can't miss you unless you're gone. So maybe you remove her for a little bit. And as I was mentioning, we all agree, man, they have a lot of talent, women talent on that roster to step up and fill in during that time. Because, also, what is time off from AEW? You travel twice a week? I mean, it's not like they're hitting the house show circuit or anything. So I will say, I will give them some props there. I like the announcement because it just adds to that snobbish, I'm better, you care about me, I'm going to punish you by taking me away attitude that she has. So hopefully maybe there is a reset and maybe a little bit of interest about how they bring her back, because usually that sets up a great opportunity for a baby face return or something like that. But you're going to have to do something big to wow me, because I've just never been able to buy in, pun intended, to Banks or Monet.
And neither have I. I just never have been able to at all. I understand, WWE, NXT, stuff like that, the 4 horsewomen and all of the good things that maybe came of that. I unfortunately do not agree with anyone who says that Mercedes Moné was a good thing to come from the 4 horsewomen. I do not agree. Mr. Parrish is saying pineapple on pizza moves the needle more than Mercedes Moné. And yeah, it sure does.
If I'm stuck in a room at gunpoint and somebody's telling me to pick the pineapple with pizza or Mercedes Moné match, I'm going with the pineapple pizza.
All day.
Yeah. We're going to move along with this. And I think what we're going to do is, let everybody know that here at Turnbuckle Studios, we like helping other people grow. That is what we love to do. We love to interact with everyone. And we would love if you had a special talent and wanted to become part of this as well, to get a hold of us at this link.
A Turnbuckle affiliation program is looking for more people. If you have passion level for pro wrestling, sports, video games, or something else, then Turnbuckle Studios is the place to be. If you have ever wanted to pursue content creation and want to join our team, then we would love to have you. Check out turnbucklestudios.org or contact us by email today because your future is now, and we want you to tap in.
And once again, we made it real nice and simple for you. Turnbucklestudios.org. That is the website to go to where you can find everything Turnbuckle Studios and even the area to join us if you feel you have a special talent that you can bring to the table.
Yeah, I do want to put you guys over. It mentions they're helping some other people out, putting the spotlight on some great performers there. I like kind of the influence work you guys were doing, helping, was it the Canadian Wrestling Elite?
Yeah.
I know you guys are part of that team, but going that extra effort to show the before the show. Hey, man, it looked fabulous in there. You guys brought an energy to let people to be there. Hopefully, you guys packed that house. I know you had some great talents and some great action on the card.
Oh yeah, you'll be excited about the next one we've got. We've got if it's okay to mention it, March 25th, Austin Aries is coming in, the real belt collector. That's what I'm calling him.
Yeah, and that's, just something that we've always prided ourselves on with this network and with this company of Turnbuckle Studios is that we would love to see everybody grow. And it's because of all of you that you have helped us grow to where we are. But of course, we're always looking to grow further. And that is why we collaborate with others to see how we can help each other out so that everybody can be successful in this world of podcasting and video creation. There is a company that has been, I don't want to say growing, but has gotten a new shine put on them once again. One of my favorite companies throughout the years. I remember back in the weekly PPV days watching this company. So we're going to talk two pieces of information from TNA Wrestling. The first one I want to mention is that Mustafa Ali has re-signed with TNA, and he is happy to do so. Just going to give a little quote here. He says, "Yeah, I have re-signed. I'm very, very happy with that. TNA management, Carlos, Tommy, and everybody, top to bottom, have just been very supportive. And they I don't want to say they see the vision. I bring them this idea, and there's just so much I've earned it. I feel like, but is so much trust from them." How amazing is that for somebody to be able to go who has worked top tier companies and is now working with, well, I consider a top tier company in TNA, but to have that feeling of confidence in not only the company, but themselves now as well, that is a huge thing. When you're doing anything, you have to have that confidence in yourself for others to see that confidence as well. And it looks as though that is exactly what Mustafa Ali has done and has re-signed with TNA because he is comfortable in that spot. OM Dynamic, your thoughts and feelings on Mustafa Ali's re-signing?
I am excited for him. We are talking about a guy who was really starting to come into his own when he was initially released from WWE. Went on a pay-per-appearance deal with TNA for 6 months and then was gone for a while. Came back and has worked the past year. Now he's re-signed. He has really come into his own. The fact that they do have that little bit of creative freedom in TNA and that vision, so it's a collaboration, I think is really what has transcended this for him and pushed him out. So I am excited. I do hope there's a title reign now in there for him, whether it's an X Division, whether it's getting to the world title.
Either or, I think, would be absolutely fantastic. Mr. Best.
Uh, I'm tremendously excited for this. I remember when Mustafa Ali came to the WWE and came to their main roster and received that monstrous push that he was to get before he got hurt, and that derailed his push. And I wanted to see that push continue, and I'm finally getting that in TNA with him. And I'm ready for him to enter the world title picture there.
RBV.
What I think is so cool about this, first take on it, what a time to get a solidified deal done with Total Nonstop Action Wrestling. They're on the verge of arguably one of the biggest deals in the company's history. The extended couple-year deal with AMC going to explosion, no pun intended. Oh, pun intended on this one again. The potential to reach their audience, 60,000 homes now available to them. Now's an opportunity to go grab that in for Mustafa, knowing he's got that deal in place, could be at the forefront of those horses that are leading the charge for that roster. Now, for the individual, Mustafa, a tremendous talent, bell to bell. But I think what really stands out is that he's always shown a willingness and a capability to push the boundaries creatively. And within WWE, it had to be so frustrating. Like any of us at work, when you've got ideas and you want to help a company grow, you want to improve your own standing, and you're pitching, and there are no ears that are listening, and you're just beating your head against a wall. That had to be the feeling for him inside of WWE. You go to somewhere like Total Nonstop Action Wrestling, and it's a completely different story. They are more receptive to their talents. They'll listen to some ideas. They'll push those boundaries or open their horizons. I mean, you look at what they did, the great work with Chelsea Green, letting her develop her character. Even the Wrestle House, completely outside the box of what we see for other major professional wrestling companies. And then the biggest one that we could say saved TNA at one point, and that was the Broken Universe. So I'm sure for Mustafa, he has got a bag full of amazing creative ideas that he can take to Mr. Silva, to Tommy Dreamer, and they are going to be receptive to it. And this is going to be a platform now with AMC behind them to truly let him shine. What a great opportunity for this gentleman.
Yeah, and I'm glad, RBV, that you brought up the fact that he has a creative mind, because I remember listening to an interview where he talked about the ideas he had for Retribution that went unnoticed, and I wanted to see those ideas come to fruition after he talked about them.
Oh, he had incredible vision for that. And my mentor, one of my very good friends, my podcast partner, and has been Hameen, he was actually at the time. They were working for the network. Him and Russo and all of them. They've got this out there. Vince got a podcast series about it called The Consultants, where they were taking some of the ideas that Creative had was showing the network, and then also helping right alongside that. Here's some ideas. Maybe you could go with it. They loved what they were getting from Mustafa there. The problem there was it wasn't WWE's Creative's idea, and they didn't like there was a talent, and they didn't like it was the network pushing them there. So they intentionally tanked it. And it didn't help that you add to that. What is she's out right now, the kendo stick girl from SmackDown. I should know this. I call her Munchies. Is her name?
Oh, Meechin.
I call her Munchies.
Yeah.
Meechin. Yeah, but it doesn't even help though. You just get this gimmick over. And it is. I mean, it pushes an envelope. It makes people feel something because it looked like they had team stuff. And she immediately goes to social media. That's not really us. You just threw it under the bus. You threw it in the dumpster.
Yeah.
Before you got any traction there. So, hey, I think he's got to be thrilled to have some bosses that are going to listen, be receptive to his ideas. And outside of the bell to bell, I'm going to be more captivated to see what he does creatively there.
Exactly. And that's, again, where I think he comes in and he says that he is very, very happy for all of those reasons combined. And it's just absolutely amazing for him. Very much so excited to see what happens and where this goes. I really don't have any information on how long of a deal or contract he has signed as of right now. But if we get that information, we'll let you know somehow for sure. another guy that is synonymous, I guess we could say, with TNA is AJ Styles. Absolutely beautiful that we know that AJ Styles is kind of going into or approaching his retirement in 2026. And being able to go back to where it kind of all started, or the big boom for AJ Styles, at least AMC premiere of TNA Impact, is going to include the phenomenal AJ Styles. This is even us around and you know, he's in something right now within the WWE. He's kind of getting a little bit of a rivalry going with Gunther, but this is still being allowed for him, and I love that it is being allowed for him. 2002 seems like a lifetime ago.
Oh, geez.
Right? 2002, AJ Styles, TNA, Impact Wrestling, NWA TNA Wrestling, like just all of it. He has gone through the gamut of the subtle name changes within the company. But I am excited for this because, well, baby, AJ's coming home.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, which of the monikers or cliches do you want to use for AJ Styles in this situation? I'm going to go with the face that runs the place.
It's a good one. Yeah.
I mean, this was a guy who truly built the X division. He is the first and only main roster WWE superstar to participate in the crossover. And
yeah,
I have to wonder, is he going to come back and ask for a match coming up later this year in TNA as a potential way to go out? I'm even going to go this far. Do we get an AJ Styles TNA Hall of Fame announcement for later in the year this coming Thursday?
You know what? I never thought about that, and I think that would be phenomenal. Yes, pun intended. We're getting lots of pun intendeds here tonight. I think it definitely would be. AJ has done so much for TNA that is earned, respectfully earned. Best, what are your thoughts on this?
I'm happy, very, very happy that AJ Styles is going to be on TNA, but disappointed because of another piece of article that's related to this that TNA initially wanted. For the AMC premiere, they wanted Frankie Kazarian to have a match with AJ Styles on the show. But for whatever reason, they could not pull that off. And now I'm also seeing a report right here on my desk. AJ Styles isn't the only one that's returning to Impact on Thursday. Former TNA World Heavyweight Champion Bully Ray will be on the show as well.
Beautiful. And, Uncle Bully.
Yes. I'm 110% looking forward to seeing what they're going to do with AJ Styles. I agree with OMD. It's more than likely going to be some kind of a Hall of Fame announcement. Maybe that Frankie Kazarian match is still going to be in play, because on the flip side of that, I'm glad that it's not happening on a random TNA show. It should happen on a TNA pay-per-view. So I'm 100% tuning into TNA this Thursday to find out what's going on.
RBV, do you watch much TNA right now?
Absolutely follow the product. I tune in each and every week, especially Monday nights over on our platform, the Hameen Media Group, for our Impact Attack show with Let's Go Brandon and the Vet, who break it all down. But yeah, I've been really excited about this move to AMC, especially. Are they going to change maybe some of the presentation, what we're used to in wrestling, to fit maybe a little bit more of the AMC style with all of those shows, those great hits that they have? But yeah, I know there was a little bit of conflicting reports. They had said AJ is going to be there, then they kind of backed off on their promotion. this is something that needs to be done for them, as this is a big deal debut for them. I know, MD, you're talking about which AJ do we get here. I love the WWE entrance, but for me, I think you opened the show with "Get Ready to Fly," and we are flying into a new era for Impact Wrestling on television, for total nonstop action wrestling. That's how you kick it off. The big announcement that I would have is have AJ come out, say, "This is my last year." And I promise everybody here, stay tuned for an announcement, because I'm going to come back and challenge for the belt that I helped put on the map. So you start that teaser, and maybe you have Easter eggs throughout the run of the series leading up to whenever that match might be. The only thing I would challenge, maybe not on a pay-per-view, maybe the network wants that big rating to show that wrestling can mean something for AMC. But yeah, you don't do it on just coming out of the gate here. You build that hype up. You ride that train for a while, that you don't know when AJ is going to come back, but he is. And when he comes back, it's going to be in a big way. And again, for all those wrestlers out there that look at someone who did it their own way, who didn't follow the normal trends, who turned down after WCW, who turned down that opportunity to go to OVW so that he could, do what was best for his family at the time. Then went to TNA, made his name, traveled the world, New Japan and all that. And something that we thought would never happen, see him debut in the Rumble there, how amazing that was. And then even more so never happened to become a true main eventer and multi-time champion in WWE. AJ Styles, he's probably not the sexiest choice when we talk about Mount Rushmore's or top 10 lists, but man, he has been so phenomenal. How about another pun there for you, Carl?
I love it. Things that other people love as well happen to be the large number of different shows that we have available here on this network. And well, I mean, it's only a minute long, so take a look and see exactly what we do every day of the week.
Turnbuckle Studios and the Turnbuckle Affiliation Program bring you the week of streams. Monday nights you get the Locker Room Breakdown at 7 p.m. Eastern, followed by the Raw Patrol at 8 p.m. Eastern. Tuesday brings you the flagship show, Turnbuckle Talk, at 8:05 p.m. Eastern. Wednesday we play games with the PlayStation Showcase at 8 p.m. Eastern. Thursday we go TNA when we brace for Impact at 7:55 p.m. Eastern. Friday we secure all details as we answer the call for the SmackDown security detail at 8 p.m. Eastern. The weekend brings you Saturday Night Gaming at 8 p.m. Eastern. On Sundays be sure to catch the Chris Parrish podcast at 12:15 p.m. Eastern, followed by the Boar's Nest at 8 p.m. Eastern. Be part of the shows and join the chat every day.
And again, turnbucklestudios.org. Go there, click on episodes, and we have a link directly to the latest episode of the shows that you love. Well, gentlemen, it's time. It's fan question time. Mark, love you. Thank you so much for bringing this to us and wanting a discussion about this. Again, as I said, I am not going to give my commentary on this. I want to hear from you guys. We're going to go dynamic, RBV, and then to best with this. The question was from Mark asking, with the availability of pants within the world, why did professional wrestlers decide to go with tights? And with everything else, we've got a graphic for that to show you the difference between pants and tights. Dynamic, go ahead.
Big one is mobility. I mean, we look at wrestling as these gladiators, so you need something to set yourself apart from somebody else. We also know that wrestling in North America got started as a carnival sideshow. So you are looking at these carnies. So again, you needed that flamboyance. If you go back to Japan, and it was in the book Ring of Hell, which I believe you still have my copy of, Carl,
I believe so.
where the Yakuza actually controlled wrestling in the early days. So I don't know if it was maybe done as a punishment there, but you see now that the young lions are given, the plain black trunks to start. They have to earn their way up to those colors. But I think it's really the mobility and to set yourself apart, to stand out to the crowd as this gladiator.
Interesting. RBV.
Well, I would say Mark, if that is your real name, if you're not just some Mark that's bugging Carl there with these questions here. But no, but to the point here, I mean, it really is. It is about a look, and it's about presentation. It's about body type. What's going to compliment you? Are you really hitting that gym, or are you skipping leg day? If you got one of those tall swimmer style bodies, so it's really about your build, your presentation, what you want to show off. It's funny because I think that like Jim Cornette was just talking about that clip that I heard. He was laughing about, how Seth Rollins had to make that switch. I think it was Cornette was saying that he told him to switch from the trunks to the long tights to the pants. Because it just didn't fit his body. But some people, you do got those big bulking legs and all that. So it works. Now, I prefer the trunks. If you go back to the old school, the 70s and 60s, where you pull them right up below your nipples, those are the best style. Those are the real men. That's when professional wrestling was filled with real men getting it done.
Best.
Okay, so I like how you guys brought up the history of the tights, because I did extensive research on this for the last 3 days. Actually, even more, because Carl told me that we were doing the story last Wednesday.
Yep.
This actually, there's actually some very deep historical context to why the wrestlers wear tights. And it is for the mobility and it is for the look, but it is also to pay homage to the ancient wrestlers of India. Because back in the day, they wore loincloths as wrestling, and it also maximized movement, and it also prevented opponents from grabbing the clothing. So that's why I think it is. It's to pay homage to the wrestlers that came before us as well. But yeah, I'm with you guys too. It is about the look. It is about the mobility. I've worn both, and trust me, the pants did not give me much mobility in the ring.
For myself,
that breezy.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, right. I mean, I still have my pants.
Right.
They sit right over there, folded up, real nice. I never wore the trunks. Now my legs are big legs, and I could have pulled them off. I just didn't feel comfortable going out there in my underwear.
Right.
That's what it was for me. Back in the early days of starting, I had almost Jeff Hardy style pants. These big blue, breathable pants that I had that worked fantastically. I could move in them, but then I had these tights, and the same tights that I had throughout my entire extreme Canadian career. And for me, I was able to move just fine in them. Did they maybe ride down a little bit once in a while? Yeah, sure. But who doesn't like a little bit of butt crack, I guess. Right? So, yeah, for me, I can't speak to the tights themselves because I myself always wore pants.
Right.
Mark, again, thank you so much for that question. That was absolutely amazing. Really got everybody kind of thinking a little bit and doing some research, which is exactly what we love to do here, and kind of delve into a little bit of that history and a little bit about the behind the scenes when it comes to professional wrestling and maybe why things are done. We're going to go behind the scenes a little bit as well here with our showstopper segment. This one here, the behind the scenes, is learning a little bit more about Izzy Dame and what she did prior to coming into the WWE and NXT. I had no idea that she had done this before learning about this 10-year ban that is put in place for Izzy Dame in volleyball and over in the country of Cyprus to boot. Like, I don't even know where Cyprus is, okay? I really don't.
It's over the hill, man. It's Cyprus over the hill.
Right? The only Cypress Hill I know made amazing music for me to listen to. I don't even know where Cyprus is, but apparently Izzy Dame was playing professional volleyball and was doing that over in Cyprus. And her dad was actually her coach.
Mm-hmm.
Now, she had a little bit of time where she was able to, I believe it was a 3-month period, and she was able to go back to the States. So she was over there, and a DM came to her. Yes, the WWE does send DMs once in a while, but you have to know who they're coming from for them to be actually legit. So don't fall into the trap of getting into conversation with somebody that isn't legitimate. She received a DM, and it really changed everything for her. Her dad was not happy with the DM from the WWE asking her to come aboard, to come to a tryout, to be part of WWE and NXT. Her mom, on the other hand, was all for it and said, baby, do what you want to do. I support you either way. And look at Izzy Dame now. After 2 years, she's a champ. She's made a name for herself, and her world has entirely changed. I love this feel-good story. OM Dynamic, let's go to you with this one.
I'm a huge fan of Izzy Dame. Yes, her win of the NXT North American Women's Championship came as a shock to me, but I love it. I didn't know, and I'm wondering now if she's maybe picking up some pointers from Charlotte, or if they're playing some pickup volleyball. So, but this is really intriguing that the Cyprus Volleyball Federation, or whatever it's known as, whatever that entity is, has put this ban on her for 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
I know she had just signed a new contract to continue playing over there when this DM came through.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it's just a breach of contract. I would not be surprised that if the wrestling doesn't work out for Izzy, which I don't see that happening, that they would come calling back a lot sooner than that 10-year ban.
Best.
I look at it like this. I'm like, it's a risk. It was a very risky move for Izzy Dame, first of all, because we always say it for film. There's no money to be made in film. There's no money to be made in wrestling at the same time. It was a very risky move, and I understand where her father was coming from. I also understand where her mother was coming from. And for her to come in, and she's given it her all in the last 2 years. So right now I'm thinking like she's probably looking at that like, okay, I'm making more money doing this than I would be playing volleyball. So I'm going to weigh my options out here and go with the company that's paying me more. So this 10-year thing is probably like nothing to her. It just means she can't play volleyball in Cyprus. She can play volleyball in Canada. She can play volleyball in the States, play in Mexico, go to England and play there if she wants to.
Very true.
She still has those avenues open if WWE doesn't work out for her.
It's best to say, those options are available. When I read this story, it's like, damn, Cyprus. I mean, what is this? The Mecca of volleyball? Or at least like people like the NFL, the NHL at the top of the mountain when it comes to this sport. So I had a deep dive into this thing. Obviously, they love and take their volleyball very serious, or any kind of contractual agreements over there. Don't sign anything when you go to Cyprus, ladies and gentlemen. You get a lifetime ban. But no, it is an attractive league over there because I guess it is a beautiful area. They pull a lot of European players there, but it is like a run-of-the-mill sporting association. It is the Cyprus Volleyball Federation that is the governing body there. So yeah, wow. 10-year ban on this thing. I'm going to agree with her on this. If there's other volleyball options out there in the world, and even at its cap, how big of a global draw is that, hey, I'm sure there's people out there making tremendous livings off of volleyball and all of that. But let's be realistic. I mean, WWE, and even, in her interview about this, when she's telling the story, she's like, she was blown away that she was even on the WWE's radar.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, where, I can't believe I don't really have this many social media followers. I'm sure there was some kind of conversations somewhere, but for them to reach out to her, invite her to a camp, obviously she did well enough there to get this opportunity. So once in a lifetime, and you see the stars that are made there. I mean, it's an moment. So she chased that opportunity. Good for Izzy in that respect. Now, what is she going to do with that? I don't want to be too harsh on her, as you said there, Carl. Really 2 years ring experience right now. Unfortunately, from my critical eye, I don't see a whole lot of upside here. At current standing, there's still plenty of room to grow. And that's bell to bell, but also character-wise. This is really a situation that reminds me a lot of a Rhea Ripley, who came in and looked just like all the other girls. Sure, she's got a little bit of the height there, a great physique, but that cookie cutter, blonde hair, line them up, they all look the same. So the challenge now for Izzy is going to be able to stand out. You're getting a little taste of that top spot in NXT right now. Will that transfer to the red and blue rosters there, even when the competition gets more fierce? So, hey, I'm rooting for all of them all there. But, the key is going to be able to watch how does she evolve and stand out.
Yeah.
And Cyprus, ladies and gentlemen, do not sign any contracts down there.
All right. And for your geography lesson, Carl Carafel, Cyprus is an island nation in the Eastern Mediterranean. It is the third largest Mediterranean island that blends Greek and Turkish culture.
Okay.
I like Greek food.
You and me both.
Turkey Euros.
Hey, yes. Yes.
South of Turkey and west of Syria.
Okay. I have seen pictures when doing the research and trying to make the graphic for this. I was able to find some amazing, beautiful pictures of Cyprus itself. And that's just a gorgeous picture right there of the island. And of Izzy. We'll say that as well.
Yep.
And with a couple of gorgeous looking logos there for you too.
And RBV, I'm glad that you had also mentioned like how many eyes are really on the volleyball product. It only seems to me as a viewer myself that it feels like the only time that people seem to care about volleyball is during the Summer Olympics. And that's about it.
I didn't want to speak. I'm sure there's some people out there making a tremendous living with great passion. And I know there's those opportunities there, but she probably knows that she could go back to that, or there was a cap on that. Let me go see what I can do a little outside of my comfort zone with the WWE.
And I think for all of us, the biggest takeaway that we can get from this story is that all it does take is one DM and a little bit of faith and trust to make it, to become that star. So don't forget that you as well can get those opportunities. We can get those opportunities if we take that leap of faith and make a jump and go to where we want to be. Those DMs will come, they will go, and they will only flourish if you decide to do something with them. Izzy Dame got one DM from WWE recruiting, and it has changed her life. And I'm sure that is something that we all want to happen, especially in the industry now that we are in, for that one DM to come through.
I think all the mothers out there would say the other lesson is listen to your mom, not your dad.
Yeah, right. RBV, this has been absolutely amazing. I do want to make sure that people know about the Hameen Media Group. I'm going to put the ticker down below that gives the Facebook, the Instagram, and the YouTube. It is all at Hameen Media. Give us a little insight into what Hameen Media Group is, please.
Just like all the tremendous product producing shows that you guys put out here on the Turnbuckle Studios 7 days a week. We've got stuff going on, a bunch of live content 7 days a week. We've got stuff, but I would encourage everybody, it's right here on YouTube, Hameen Media Group. Just yesterday, Ben, our namesake, his name is on the door. Me and Ben Hameen sat down with Jasmine St. Clair from the Juggalo Championship Wrestling. You talk about a can't miss conversation. Yeah, I know she's had, and I shouldn't say this about a lady, but she's got 30 years of, in this industry, going back to ECW Extreme Championship Wrestling days. Obviously, a lot of us might have seen a lot of her work outside of the ring. She's in the adult industry there, but she's got, I'll say legit, but regular Hollywood credits to her name. She has a tremendous improv background. You would not believe, so much work in her personal branding, and she is just straight shooting, real deal. She gives us a ton of insight into JCW and really just getting to know her. That's available now over on our channel, youtube.com/Hameen Media Group under the live tab.
Again, no matter where you were following, there's always amazing content that is out there. But if you are going to be following, it better be Turnbuckle Studios, and it better be Hameen Media Group. I'm going to throw this out there for Ben. If you guys do not know who Ben Hameen is, do yourself a favor and just Google Ben Hameen. I love that guy. Absolutely amazing.
He's gonna tell it like it is.
Well, that's exactly it, right? And there's a lot out there that will be very wishy-washy with all of their stuff and very like, we can't really say that. So Ben Hameen doesn't care, and he's gonna say it. So if you want that unfiltered, uncensored commentary of things, Hameen Media Group, that's where it is. And Ben Hameen, the namesake, as you said, RBV, I don't think anybody does it better than Ben Hameen, if you know what I mean. Yeah.
Appreciate the kind words. Love coming on with you guys, man. Always a great conversation here.
We definitely do our best. And again, this is what we love to do. This is what we want to do. We want to continue to grow. And it's because of all of you who are watching or listening afterwards. Make sure that you're following us. Biggest things you can do is hit that subscribe, that thumbs up, leave a heart, leave an emoji. It doesn't matter what it is. It pushes it out. And if you share it with your friends, then it becomes bigger as well for all of us. Thank you guys so much for being here with me again, as we talked about how 1DM can change your destiny on Turnbuckle Talk, episode 457 for this day, January 13th, 2026. Remember, everyone, the world's a scary place. Take care of each other.
Flagship show setting the tone. In the world of wrestling we stand alone. With news and reviews we lead the way. Turnbuckle Talk every day. Turnbuckle Talk every day.